morning, beloveds. Whew, okay. I'm just having one of those mornings. All right. It is December 1st. We have moved into the last month of the year of 2021. Now, obviously, since I started this in April, I still have 3 months to go, but you know. All right, it is December 1st. Our title is Before Me is a Clear Road, and I Proceed. And our quote is, when one follows unswervingly the path of virtue, it is not to win advancement. And it is Mencius 7b33. No idea what that is. Mencius. And then it's the Roman numeral 7. You're going to have to look that one up. All right. The forward look is the Godward look. My heaven will never be unless I make it out of the materials of my own thinking. Today I set my sights on God who fashioned me in God's image and after God's likeness. I stand at the door of the abundant life and I knock. All that I seek opens to me and beckons me to life's fullness. I enter into my divine heritage and walk with the great and the true. My pathway is filled with ease, for I am thinking to take me to my goal. All of mind urges me on, and all power is my strength to move. Idea after idea comes to my consciousness in right sequence at exactly the right moment. I am inspired to right action in every detail. I walk forward in ease. There are no obstructions in my pathway of mind. The mistakes of yesterday are behind, and the future beckons with promise. God is where I am, and God will always be with me. God's hand will never loose mine, nor will God's love let me go. God's listening mind tells me good can be before me. The way is clear, and I never let my doubts create detours. I handle each doubt as it appears and declare it to be nothing. The way is straight. I walk in peace to my selected good. I am pushed from behind by the Spirit, even as I am led forward by true guidance. I walk in faith. My decision to accept my greater freedom is a mighty power within me. It leads me, directs me, and comforts me when doubts assail. I am undaunted by the problems I seem to face. Ahead of me is the royal road to good living based on spirit and motivated by love. This is the day of progress. This is the day of demonstration. I walk in the dream of accomplishment, and my dream becomes a fact. All right, there's a couple of really amazing lines in here. Starting out with the my heaven will never be unless I make it out of the materials of my own thinking. The materials of my own thinking. So not the materials around you, but the materials within you. And that's right there. It's like, okay, so literally heaven is a place that we create from within. And then that begs the question of, okay, what materials do you have in your head? What have you been doing, reading, watching, listening to, that you can use to create that heaven? And if you're listening to a lot of negativity, it's probably not giving you the best material. Which is why some of this is so important, to read this kind of stuff and go, oh, wait, okay, let me upgrade the materials in my head. And then further on down, where was that other one? The way is clear, and I never let my doubts create detours. All right. And why I think that one is so important, because exactly that's what it does. When we doubt, we create detours. It's like, if we just had a little more confidence and just kept to the path, we get there. But sometimes we doubt, we doubt ourselves, or we doubt others, or we just doubt the system. So then we go, well, and then that just veers us off the path, and it takes us a little longer to get there, because we always come back to the path in the end. When we let go of the doubt and go, all right, you know what, let me get back on the path and get there. So I love that line about, I never let my doubts create detours. I handle each doubt as it appears and declare it to be nothing. So he's not saying you're not gonna have doubts. He's just saying, don't let them get you off track. Don't let them, run your way. Handle them when they come up. What do you need to do to deal with those doubts? Is it something you can look at and, look in the face and go, yeah, this is nothing? Or is it something you might want to call somebody and say, hey, I'm having this doubt. Help me. I was just like, okay, so those are the two that really, really struck me. It's like, what materials are we consuming? What materials do we have in our head to create the heaven around us? And let's not let the doubts create detours. So, before me is a clear road and I proceed. That's the title. And again, I don't know what the quote is, but I mean, it makes sense. When one follows unswervingly the path of virtue, it is not to win advancement. It's for the benefit of all. It's for the benefit of all. It's not about getting ahead. And I have no idea what Mencius 7 is. Mencius 7, and then it's B, and then it's 33. So I'll have to Google that and see what it is. So the forward look is the Godward look. My heaven will never be unless I make it out of the materials of my own thinking. So today I set my sights on Spirit, who fashioned me in Spirit's image and after Spirit's likeness. Now, yeah, both times I changed it because it says him. And so I changed it to God the first time and Spirit the second time. Because I'm a woman. I'm going to gender include myself. I stand at the door of the abundant life and I knock, because that's a quote from Jesus. Knock and it shall be opened to you. The point of knocking, the point of asking, is to signal our willingness to accept. Yes, God knows exactly what we need, but until we ask for it, we're not ready to accept it. And that was like being struck by lightning. I was like, oh, I get it. That's why we have to ask. Because when we ask, we're ready to accept. Or at least we're on the way to being ready to accept. All that I seek opens to me and beckons me to life's fullness. I enter into my divine heritage and walk with the great and the true. It's like everybody's path is different, but we all have the same goal. And so, and everybody, including the great and true, have had to walk the path. They've all had to do the work. My pathway is filled with ease, for I am thinking to take me to my goal. So I'm focused on my goal. I am not letting my doubts detour me. I'm not letting other people's doubts detour me. All of mind urges me on, and all power is my strength to move. Idea after idea comes to my consciousness in right sequence at exactly the right moment. I am inspired to right action in every detail. I walk forward with ease. You need power statements to get you through. There you go. There are some really good ones. It's like the inspiration is all around you. Are you listening? Are you open to it? Are you watching for it? There are no obstructions in my pathway of mind. The mistakes of yesterday are behind and the future beckons with promise. It's like, okay, forgive yourself for your mistakes, make your atonements, learn your lessons, take the information forward, leave the regrets behind. Because the regrets are doing you no good. God is where I am, and God will always be with me. God's hand will never loose mine, nor will his love let me go. Because there's nothing outside of God. God is always holding us. Spirit is always holding us. It doesn't matter. There's nowhere God is not. So we're always going to be held. And our belief is that God is love, which means we're always going to be held in that love. God will always be with me. God's listening mind tells me good can be before me. Because that's what God wants for us. God wants us to be happy, healthy, creative, whole, loving, kind, compassionate. Because that's what God is. God wants us to be in alignment with those qualities. Spirit wants that. And so Spirit's going to gently remind us. I mean, very rarely do we get the spiritual 2x4. I mean, occasionally we do. But, most of the time it's the gentle prodding. It's like, hey, pay attention. Pay attention. The way is clear, and I never let my doubts create detours. And when I start to detour, then I can right myself quickly, or I can call somebody and say, hey, help me out here. The way is, I handle each doubt as it appears and declare it to be nothing. The way is straight. I walk in peace to my selected good. I walk in peace to my selected good. I am choosing my good. I don't have to accept the good that anybody else has picked out for me. Our parents love us, but frequently the good they pick out for us is not what we want. So I am walking to my selected good. I am pushed from behind by Spirit, even as I am led forward by true guidance. I walk in faith. So we've got support in front of us. We've got support behind us. We've got support on either side of us. We've got support all around us. Always, always, I walk in faith. My decision to accept my greater freedom is a mighty power within me. One of the goals of Science of Mind is just simply to remind people you have a choice. You can make a decision. You can make another decision. You can make many more decisions. But the point is it's your power to make that decision, not anybody else's. It leads me, directs me, and comforts me when doubts assail. Because I can make a new choice. I am undaunted by the problems I seem to face. Because how many problems aren't real? We have simply created them in our mind. We've simply, how many times do you worry about something that's going to happen and then it never happens? That's what we're talking about here. I am undaunted by the problems I seem to face because a whole lot of them aren't even real. They're simply in our mind. And if we think too hard about them, we can create them. But we don't have to. Ahead of me is the royal road to good living based on Spirit and motivated by love. And that right there is key. Motivated by love. And not the Western concept of love, but the Eastern concept of love, where it is what's best for all parties. Frequently, the Western idea of love can get a little selfish and it can get a little egocentric. And it's like, okay, I'm motivated by love, but because I love myself, this is what's best for me. And it doesn't take into account everybody else. So based on Spirit and motivated by love means that it's got to be good for everybody. It's got to be good for everybody, especially for ourselves. But we got to let the ego go a little bit there. This is the day of progress. This is the day of demonstration. I walk in the dream of accomplishment and my dream becomes fact. All right. So the mission for today. The mission for today. There's a bunch in here, but I'm going to go back to the one about doubts because I really think that's important. I think the mission for today is to recognize that the way is clear and to not allow our doubts to create that detour. To know our doubts to be the no thing that they are. That's the mission today, should we choose to accept it. To recognize that most of what is in our way is up here. It's not real. And we don't want to dwell on it and make it real. So don't let our doubts create detours. That's the mission. All right, beloveds. I also encourage you to do something loving for yourself, do something kind for yourself, do something compassionate for yourself, whatever it looks like, however big or small it is, it does not matter. What matters is the habit, about creating that default setting, about creating that kindness and that love and that compassion as your first response to yourself, no matter what happens, especially when those doubts creep up, because they're gonna happen, and that's okay. You're having a human experience. So when you have those doubts and you can respond to those doubts with love, with kindness, with compassion for yourself, they will naturally kind of dissolve back into the no thing that they are. Because you are using that bank of love and kindness and compassion for yourself. And when you have a bank of it for yourself and it becomes your first response, then it can become your first response for everyone. And we all know we encounter people every day that just need a little bit more. And so when we practice on ourselves, we have enough to share. That's the goal. But you deserve your own love, your own kindness, your own compassion, because you are a beloved child of God in whom God is well pleased. Always and forever. State of grace. Okay, so I also encourage you to do something to engage your mind and your body, to go get that face full of sun. I know it was really foggy this morning. Not quite like yesterday, but still pretty foggy. But it was gym day, so I'm good. But go get that sun. Drink plenty of water. And whatever else you do, open the windows of your soul. Allow the breath of heaven to remind you do live in heaven right here, right now. And we create it from the materials of our own thinking. So look for the good. Look for the good and praise it. Because when you look for it, you find it. When you find it, it naturally multiplies. It's amazing and awesome, and that's the way it works, and it's great. So, it's Wednesday. Living the Science of Mind book study is today. The practitioners, Shirley and Monty, are still having a fabulous time doing that. So you can check it on that. Email info@creativelife.org. Get on that newsletter and get that Zoom link. And yay. I got stuff to do. So I should probably get off and go do this. So I want you to have a great day, an amazing day, a fantastic day, a royal road day. I like that. A royal road day, an enchanting day, a stupendous day, a good day. And if that is too much pressure, simply have a day. Because you're enough. You're always enough. All right, beloveds. I'm going to move on into this. Catch us on the social medias. I know, so the Sunday service isn't up on YouTube, but I will make an effort to get that today. There's been a lot going on. So, take care of yourselves. Know that you're loved. Reverend David will be on around 5 p.m. with you. I'll be back at 9 a.m. Have a great day. Until next time.